I'm Dr. Cindy, your host of the Positively Altered podcast. I am a chiropractic internist and nutritionist, and we love here on the podcast to talk about all things health related, certainly with a spin and a good story. Our next guest has an amazing start to her life. Sometimes when you think you have it bad and you hear somebody else's version, we tend to realize we got to put things in perspective. But what's great is this next doctor was able to take such adversity and turn it into an amazing health message. And she is now changing people's lives for the better. So grab a drink, a comfy place to sit, pull over on the side of the road if you need to focus. If you're listening to us that way, we've got a phenomenal guest right after a couple messages from some really important sponsors.
Hello, my name is Heather Lord, and I am the COO of Professional Health Products. Cutting corners is an all too common practice in the dietary supplement industry. When my father founded Professional Health Products, he sourced the cleanest, most biologically active ingredients from around the globe. Today, that commitment remains, which is why the finest healthcare practitioners, like Dr. Cindy, have trusted us for more than 40 years. We oversee the entire process in our manufacturing facility, from sourcing and formulation to manufacturing and labeling. Today, we offer over 300 unique products that can be tailored to the nutritional and homeopathic needs of each individual. Most recently, we launched a proprietary genetic test, allowing our practitioners to get even more dialed in to their patients' health. To learn more about Professional Health Products, please talk to your practitioner or visit our website at phpltd.com.
Today, your life is going to be altered. I'm Dr. Cindy.
Welcome to Infinity. We have worked hard to create an electronic claims website that is simple and user-friendly. This is the public side. You can log into your personal web portal here. This is your dashboard. You can personalize it to your liking here. Our main focus has been to allow you to submit and edit claims as easy as possible. You will find our claims editor and claims processing is simple to use and straightforward. Our quick action bar is where you can find your most important information. Most of these icons will take you directly to the claims the number represents. You can easily view if you have any messages in your inbox of any unread alerts by looking for these blue numbers. To view the rest of our training videos to get the most of your Infinity experience, click this icon. We hope you find this web portal simple and easy to use. Thanks for letting us serve you.
I'm Dr. Cindy. Who wouldn't want to join me for the Positively Altered podcast? Welcome back from our commercial break. Our sponsors are super important to us, so I'm glad you hung out to listen. And most importantly, come back with my next guest, who I want to introduce you to, Dr. Amanda Yue. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Dr. Cindy. I am grateful for this opportunity.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Here's why I think this is going to be great, right? So we're going to talk about all these healthy things, and yet your background is in pharmacy. Now, I know that's going to sound maybe a little contradictory. And before we get there, I want you to share with our listeners actually your story, because when we got to know each other, I learned that you were not from this country, right? You were born in Thailand, correct?
No, I was born in Cambodia.
Oh, I got that wrong.
To Thailand, yes.
Oh, you were born in Cambodia and moved to Thailand, but you've got a really interesting story. It's not just as simple as you were born somewhere, moved to a different location, and then came to the United States, right? You had a little bit of trouble, I hear.
Correct. I was born in Cambodia in 1969, but during the Vietnam War, I was about 7 years old. And well, although my family was considered one of the richest people in Cambodia, we planned to escape before the war, but for some reason we got stuck. And for 4 years during the war, I was 7 years old, very fragile, small, and shy. So my parents didn't want the Khmer Rouge to take me away. They would take children away from their parents to a training camp, to a education camp. But what they do is pretty much brainwash you and re-educate you and to work camp. So my mom didn't want them to take me because she knew that I would not survive because I was just so fragile. So they hid me. Similar to, Anne Frank. I did not exist for 4 years during the war.
Wow.
I did not have any contact with any children. I would come out at night, and the only contact I had with humans with my parents, and I did not have any educations for 4 years. So from 6 or 7 to 11, I did not have educations. And during 1979, when the war broke, my family said they cannot stay here. So having witnessed, so many traumas, watching people get blown up in front of you and die in front of you as a child, it's pretty much, I had this trauma. PTSD is the it had been with me for a long time. So in 1979, my parents decided we had to leave, and you can't just leave, right? And so what we did, my dad had some, or actually my mom, she had some jewelries left. So we paid the guy to help us escape and walk through the jungle of Thailand. So we left at dusk and walked through the jungle of Thailand and barefoot, and and we crossed, and fortunately we made it to the other side and put in a refugee camp for 8 months. And then we got sponsored by a church, grateful, to Gresham, Oregon. And from then on, my dad had many friends who escaped before the war. So he was a businessman. He had many connections. And we were able to start a new life, learn a new language, and and work hard and in the donut industry. So that's probably another podcast for you there. Many Chinese, Cambodian people who escaped to the United States have, we didn't have any education, didn't know the language. So business was a vehicle to survive, to make a living. So
Sure. So I think the donuts are going to prove to be pretty ironic with the topic we're going to talk about today, isn't it?
Right. I grew up in a donut shop.
Okay.
I grew up selling donuts on the weekends. Even in college, during my break, I would go help my family sell donuts.
Isn't that wild? So how do you go from the donut industry to pharmacy?
Okay, so my mother was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes when she was in her 40s, and I've watched her suffer for poor health for so many years, using injections, taking medications. Many times I found her, on the floor with hypoglycemia episodes. So I thought, if I study, if I go into healthcare, I can help my mom. I can, help other people ease suffering. That was my passion. That was my goal. I graduated from the #1 pharmacy school in the United States and probably in the world, right? UCSF in California at the time. Is like, I know I got this. I know everything. I have all the tools, right? I exercise. I'm passionate about holistic health and exercise. I have the knowledge from prestigious school. I didn't have tool to help my mom, my dad, or myself. And both of my parents died from complications of type 2 diabetes and kidney failure. And so it's my passion to learn as many tools as I can to protect myself, my family. And I have found that tool. And now I am on a mission to share this. And the crazy thing is, Dr. Cindy, the solution is so simple. It is crazy simple. It's not easy, but it is simple,
Oh,
right?
don't give it away yet. We got to keep people waiting for the simple answer.
Oh,
Don't give it
okay.
away yet.
You don't want me to give the solution now?
If you give the solution now, everybody goes to a different podcast. We got to hang tight just for a few more minutes.
All right.
Keep them hanging. All right. So here's my question, right? The burning question. When I think of a pharmacist, right? We work now with some wonderful compound pharmacists, and I do think that the profession is changing, right? And there's more education. But when I think about, and you and I are the same age, so we come from the same generation. In pharmacy, what were you hoping to learn to help you and your family? And when did you realize that maybe pharmacy wasn't going to be the solution that it sounds like, it should have been?
Mm-hmm, right. I was hoping that, hey, I will be armed with this tool, with this knowledge to help people reverse their condition, help my mom reverse type 2 diabetes and heal herself. But when I was a new pharmacist, it's like, Mom, you have to use your injection. You have to make sure that you take your medication and inject yourself. And I didn't know any better. It's like, that's what we were taught. We're using insulin to manage type 2 diabetes. Now I know that type 2 diabetes is due to hyperinsulinemia, due to too much insulin in your bloodstream already. And we're giving people more insulin instead of teaching them, hey, what's the root cause? What causes insulin resistance, right? How can we teach people to reverse this, to address the root cause, which is insulin resistance that has a hand in everything else, pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and we're not testing for that.
Right. So do you think too, I've noticed you walk into a pharmacy, right? And somebody picks up their prescription and the pharmacist says, do you have any questions? And of course, usually the answer is no. I wonder if part of the miseducation is because patients also don't know the right questions to ask, right? So the answer is no, because we, again, have no knowledge. We just trust that medication is going to solve the issue instead of getting down to what I know you're passionate about, and that is the right questions to get to the root underlying cause rather than just here's our answer, good luck, hope it works. Right. So what's some advice you could give to some of our listeners? Like when we talk about diabetes and probably all disease, right, can get lumped into this. How is it that we go down the path to the root cause the right way versus just medicating?
Correct. I encourage everybody who's listening to ask questions, to ask your doctor questions. Hey, doc, why are you prescribing this medication? How does it work? How is statin helping me lower cholesterol? Can you explain that? Ask the question. Is right. It's like, we need another podcast about statin.
We need a month and a half about statins.
Yes, we do. Ask questions. Why am I taking this medication? And then when you come back a month or two later, hey, it's like, I still feel tired. I'm taking this medication. Like you told me, I've been, eating whatever fruit and vegetables and exercising more, eating less, trying to lose weight. It's not happening. I still feel tired. I still feel fatigue. I mean, I still have these brain fogs, no energy, and my weight is not going anywhere. I still gain weight, and doctors tell their patients, and type 2 diabetes and obesity is the epidemic right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that we're short of medications or we're short of specialists. It's what's going on, right? So eating less and moving more is not the solution. So ask your doctor, what else can I do? Can you give me a plan? And if they can't, find another doctor, find a functional medicine provider, find somebody who would look at the body as a whole.
So I think it's interesting when you make that comment, ask your doctor what you can do. You know, my joke is nobody's born with a metformin deficiency,
Yes, I love that.
right?
Yes.
Right?
No, nobody's born with medication deficiency.
Correct.
Yes.
And yet if that's their tools in their toolbox, they may not give you a great answer. So what is though the difference? Where do you think the misunderstanding is between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, right? Because there's both.
Hmm.
And I know even in my own personal practice, I've had patients come in actually being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and they were misdiagnosed that it was really type 1 and
Hmm.
were being treated actually very inappropriately, you know, based on the proper disease as well. So where do people get confused?
Exactly. I mean, education's right. Like type 1, type 2 are different diseases, but we're treating them the same. It's like type 1, you don't have, insulin. Your body can't produce insulin. It's an autoimmune condition, right? And they need insulin to survive. They need insulin to live, but they still need the education how to eat to stabilize and regulate glucose and insulin so that they don't end up with type 2 diabetes, in addition, end up with double diabetes, which we've seen, right? Now you're in deep doo-doo or deep shit, like your favorite word. I feel dirty when I say shit. It's like I can't say the word. It doesn't come out of my mouth like like you. I will roll out, but I can't. All
That's
right.
right. I'll say it for you. We get ourselves into some deep shit when we don't pay
Yes,
attention to
that's
what's
it.
going on with our healthcare. Yeah,
Right there.
right.
And then type 2 diabetes, we have too much insulin because of our diet, because we eat too much, too many times a day. We eat the wrong kind of foods, the carbs, the processed foods, the sugar, and we eat every 2 to 3 hours. It's not anybody's fault because that's what we were told. You need to eat small meal to improve your metabolism, to stabilize, to have energy, which is exactly how we end up with insulin resistance, because every time you eat, you spike your glucose and your insulin. And I think the missing piece for me, even though as a functional medicine practitioner, even after I was trained in that, I did not learn about the role of insulin. I did not know that it takes insulin about 8 to 10 hours to come down. And when you start your day with a breakfast of breakfast sandwich or Starbucks coffees or, Dunkin' Donuts, right? You're going to spike your glucose for the rest of the day. You set yourself up for high insulin for the rest of the day. And insulin is a fat storing hormone. Insulin is a growth hormone. So if your insulin is up there, you can eat grass and you can't lose weight. All right. You can exercise all you want. You cannot lose weight. So you cannot outrun or insulin resistance. You cannot outrun high insulin. So until you learn how to bring insulin down, will you lose the weight? Will you reverse insulin resistance? And I've witnessed thousands of people. And I've helped my own mother-in-law. I did not save my father and my mother, but I'm able to help my mother-in-law reverse her type 2 diabetes in 9 months last year, got off statin, saved her foot from amputation, got off the wheelchair at 79 years old, Chinese who loves sugars and rice. So if that's possible for this woman, we can help millions reverse type 2 diabetes, Dr. Cindy. That's why I'm usually an introvert and afraid to talk to people in front of camera. This scare the crap out of me. But the mission is too big that I force myself to show up, make TikTok video, which I just got banned, by the way.
You got banned from TikTok?
Yeah, because I did a comparison. I did too many videos sharing truth, right? I was comparing metformin to some supplements that I use that I use to help people to lower glucose and insulin. I got banned, so.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're never going to be banned here. So we're going to spread the,
So make sure you edit so that you don't get banned.
No.
From
We're
what
not
I
getting
say.
banned. I don't no, we're going to fly under the radar just enough. All right, let's back, because I do want to get in. You've hit on so many key things here I want to share with everybody, but let's backtrack for a second, because When you say your insulin stays high, and okay, maybe we can assume if I had a bagel or a donut for breakfast, I'm getting myself in trouble. But I really believe, just like you do, we're not testing, we're not working people up correctly, right? So when somebody walks into their doctor's office, what do they need to ask for besides just, that glucose first thing in the morning, which really isn't telling us a whole lot about anything, right? So what do we need in order to properly assess our insulin level and if we're in trouble?
Everybody walk into the doctor's office next, ask for a fasting insulin. It's not order routinely. They will order your glucose, your fasting glucose, your fasting A1C. Your A1C. Ask for fasting insulin. It's different. And insulin takes about 10 to 15 years before you see an elevation in A1C, because your body is freaking resilient and brilliant and know how to compensate. Every time you eat those crappy food, your insulin will put out to bring down this glucose, and ask for fasting insulin.
And where do you like the number to be, right? Because there's clinical ranges and then there's functional ranges.
Right. Yeah.
And the
Less
clinical
than 6.
ranges are very broad. So when we get, and I know we run fasting insulin in our office, where do you like that number to be to go, okay, they're not in trouble?
Less than 6.
Okay. And what if it's 0.5?
We need to dig a little bit deeper, right? If there's could be a false low, right? So, like my husband, his fasting insulin was less than 3, but his fasting glucose in the morning was high, and his lipid panel not ideal. It's like, okay, so we've been on this. So what's going on? Yeah, you have fatty liver.
So
That's
give
what's
me
going on,
give
right?
me a typical panel, right? So we've got an insulin level, we've got a triglyceride level, we've got a hemoglobin A1C. What markers do you like to put together, and what numbers do you see where you go, yep, we've got an issue here?
Yeah, so like the 5 metabolic, markers, right? Or insulin resistance, really. So you want to measure your A1C, of course, your triglycerides and your HDL, your waist circumference. If you look down, you can't see your feet. Yeah, your insulin resistance, right? And your blood pressure. So, and you want an easy way, a poor way to calculate that. Everybody has this data is triglyceride divided by HDL, right?
Mm-hmm.
To determine your insulin resistance score. And you want that to be less than 1.5, ideally 1,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, but less 1.5 is good. How many people do you think out there, if they take this number that's greater than, I was greater than 2 when I,
Mm-hmm.
last year, prior to learning about the role of insulin resistance, being in Dr. Bickman's community.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And yet those ratios aren't looked at either, right? So people get their labs back and they have that triglyceride level,
Mm-hmm.
right? But everybody just sees it as a total number. They're not looking at ratios within that lipid panel that are proving to really give us more information than the numbers by themselves.
Right. And most doctors just look at the total cholesterol and the LDL.
Yes.
Yes. And hey, LDL above 100, you should be on a statin.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're gonna do that statin thing. We're gonna do a part 2 because I agree with you.
Do a statin thing and explain the mechanism of statin, right?
I would love it.
What does actually statin do? It's like what part of cholesterol is it attacking? Is it even helping? Actually, my mother-in-law had Alzheimer's dementia symptoms too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
She's
absolutely.
off statin. Guess what? Her memory is improving. She is sharp now. I saw her a month ago, and she's back to her old self in terms of her cognitive function.
All right, so everybody stay tuned for part 2 with Dr. Amanda Yue, because we're going to discuss statins next time. But let's go back, because there's so much on this insulin resistance, right? Like, I love this. I'm going to ask you the nasty question, right? So what do you think of all these GLP-1 injections?
Oh gosh, you're gonna go there, huh?
I am, because you know what? It's like everybody's doing it, right? It's the greatest thing on the planet. It's now easy to access, right? It's super simple. I mean, even just this morning on Facebook, I see a post, like, oh, I heard about this one. Where are you getting it? How can I get that cheaper? I mean, it's
right?
It's so commonplace, and it's so, in my opinion, dangerous that I
It
think we
is.
need to start educating better.
It is. The potential side effects, right? Just that alone should scare people. But I'm, I am shocked that people are willing to risk their lives. I mean, and put themselves through this, knowing the potential side of it. Sarcopenia is just so common, right? People are losing muscle mass and bone mass. And you and I were talking about metabolic health here, and bone mass and muscle mass, especially after menopause. We need that for longevity. Like I'm 56 years old, right? So we need that. People are losing the weight. Yes, it does work. You will lose the weight, but
Mhm.
how are you losing that weight? It's from you feeling nauseous, having diarrhea, not want to eat, and having some people have food stay in their gut for like a month, and like, they have these bad breath, and to the point that some people are having paralyzed gut, gastroparesis, end up in the hospital, potential thyroid cancer. I mean, my daughter has Hashimoto's. I mean, and so many people are also dealing with low thyroid. Oh, that's another podcast.
Right. I'm with you. We'll start the Dr. Cindy, Dr. Amanda series.
We should.
So, yeah,
We're going to go through
that's a series.
all the diagnoses linked to insulin resistance.
I know. So talk to me a little bit about that mechanism, right? How do you think we get into trouble? So, okay, we test, the triglycerides are high, the insulin is high, the hemoglobin A1C is high, you're overweight in the belly, you're high blood, there's high blood pressure, but how do we get there? What happens? When do we go bad all of a sudden?
It's not all of a sudden, Dr. Cindy. It's the past, 30, 40 years is what in 1980s when the cigarette company decided to purchase the food companies and hire their scientists to create foods without fiber, without real fibers. And what's left is processed carbs and sugars and additives that make these foods yummy and addicting, right? Because you can't just eat one chip.
Oh
or
no, there's a whole commercial based on that, right? The whole bag is gone.
and what else is like breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Who came up with that?
Right.
Kellogg's,
Yep.
right?
The cereal companies,
Cereal
absolutely.
company, exactly. So that's how we end up in this space with type 2 diabetes. In my opinion, I shouldn't state that, I get banned. And that's how I think. In my opinion, that's how we end up with type 2 diabetes and obesity 30 years later, 40 years later, because we eat first thing in the morning, we consume high carbs, high sugary food in the morning, and spiking glucose and insulin over time. This is what leads to insulin resistant and eating multiple times a day.
So are you a fan of intermittent fasting?
I am. I practice intermittent fasting. I practice 16-8, 18-6 most days, and then 24-hour fast once a week. I do a 3-day fast every few months just to allow myself to get into autophagy and get the benefit from that
The
process.
longest fast I've ever done, I've gone 105 hours.
Wow.
105 hours with water and a little bit of, sodium, a little bit of salt only. And I have to tell you, I never felt better.
Yeah, right.
And I wanted to continue it. And the only reason I chose not to continue the fast was I actually got a little afraid of then how I would feel putting the food back in if I went too long without it.
Slowly.
I don't do anything slow though, Amanda. That was my problem, face deep in the bowl of whatever I was going to eat. So I couldn't go longer than the 105, and I did great. I love it. And I'll also share with you and everybody, listening before, I love all these fads, right? Because I do think that there's some really great different types of, I'll call them lifestyle changes versus diets out there. I've always sort of instinctively just intermittent fast. Like I don't love breakfast. I just don't. I can go a good chunk of the day without eating anything. And I actually feel better when I don't do that.
Absolutely. We allow, because we spend so much energy into digesting, right? And processing the food. So when we don't have food in our body, we actually allow our body to rest and digest and go into repairing and removing damaged cells rather than spending the energy on processing the food.
Okay, so now for our listeners that have to eat breakfast, they're not going to do what we do, right? Yeah. My producer behind the scenes is waving her hand because she's definitely going to eat breakfast. Give us, I don't know, give me 2, 3, 4, 5 things that if we're going to eat first thing in the morning, what do we put in our body to help keep that insulin down?
Fiber, protein, and healthy fat. So, or just fat and protein, eggs, real meat, real food, real vegetables. My breakfast, eggs. I eat eggs every day. Eggs,
Okay.
avocados, chia seed puddings. Those are great food to have for breakfast. It will not spike your glucose. It will increase your glucose, but more steady rise rather than spike and then a crash a couple hours later. That's when people get into this hungry, brain fog, fatigue mode, and then they'll most likely reach for another soda, Red Bull. Right?
Right.
But there is a natural, like there are natural food supplements, tea that you can use to help you if you want to try practice intermittent fasting. And so many people think, oh yeah, easy said than done. I tried fasting, but I just can't because the craving's too much.
Mm-hmm.
You can use yerba mate tea to help shut off the food noise, which is what I drink every morning. This is actually what I drink every morning.
Okay.
It's, to help shut off the food noise. I'm still in a fasted state. To allow your body to tap into your own stored fat and pull out those stored glycogens, that's triglyceride that store in your liver cells and your fat cells, and utilize that and burn that for fuel, because our body can function on glucose or on ketones, right? So when you're not eating, your body's burning your own stored fat for fuel in form of ketones. And the brain loves ketones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Um,
So give me a handful of your favorite supplements that people can turn to before they start pulling, the metformin off the shelf.
Yeah. So what I have here, how we talk about the injection earlier for weight loss, this is a natural Ozempic Wegovy Mounjaro. It's actually, it just comes in a pack like this. And I just mix this in 30, 40 ounces of water, warm, cold. And I just sip that throughout the morning and it shuts off the food noise. It just makes it so easy. It's clinically studied by the University of Sydney and the Cleveland Clinic. So these supplements is actually in the PDR. Doctors can look up these supplements, right?
Yeah.
And it's covered by HSA.
What is your favorite, just for those people who they're just listening, they don't see the video, you held up your packet. What's your favorite brand for the yerba mate tea?
My favorite brand here, this is the one I use from, it's Unimate.
Unimate.
Yes,
Awesome.
Unimate. Yep, exactly.
So when everybody's doing their TikTok videos, and these are out there, right? The secret to weight loss, just wait. We're going to give you the secret ingredient. You just have to subscribe or watch the 40-minute presentation, right, in order to get it. I think you just gave everybody the secret ingredient.
I just did. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for that.
Not here, you won't.
But here's what. If you there's a discount. There's a discount code. So don't go out there and just buy it from like Amazon or whatever. But if you buy it from a representative, it actually, you get the education with it. So supplement, you can be taking the perfect supplements, the best supplements, but if you don't have the education behind it, especially something like this and a fiber matrix, which is the protocols that I use to help people, you need to have a coach. You need to have the educations, because when your body, when you introduce new supplements, your body will go to this adaptation phase, an adjustment phase, and some people will experience some discomfort. And so do work with somebody.
So I think I also hear you saying, we don't have a magic pill, right? This isn't going to work in 24, 48 hours.
Nope.
Body needs to learn to adapt, utilize, metabolize, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, when we find the right combination of things, then it can be very successful.
Absolutely.
So for everybody out there, yeah, it's not going to happen in 7 days, right? This is a process, weeks, months, sometimes years, in order to get healthy, correct?
Right. And sometimes, like when you go practice intermittent fasting or take some supplements, your body is actually pulling out those glycogens, those stored glycogen, and you might see a higher glucose, a higher triglyceride, and that can scare people if you don't understand why that is happening. So having education, work with somebody who can explain to you, hey, Dr. Cindy, it's like, this is what's happening. Your body's actually just pulling out all the craps that you've stored in there for the past 30 years. So give your body some grace, have patience, allow your body to do its thing. And if people are being consistent, whether it's this protocol or that protocol, there's no one size fits all right? But there is a simple solution to restore your health, to reverse insulin resistance.
I love it. So let's go back to your mother-in-law, the success story. Tell us a little bit. What'd you do with her? How'd you turn her around?
First, remove that bowl of oatmeal with fruit every morning, smoothie every morning, because that's what led to insulin resistance for her. Just push back breakfast a couple hours, and incorporate drink the tea to help her reduce the craving. Before she eats, she would have a fiber matrix. So I have a soluble and insoluble fiber that helps to slow down the absorptions of carbs and triglycerides, prevent that post-meal glucose spike. And just like that, and when she break her fast, when she does eat fat, protein, and fiber, eat real food. Don't be afraid of fat. For many years, we were taught to fear fat, the low fat, right? Since 1980, 1990. I was guilty of that. Yes, no fat, and bring back the fat. Don't fear fat. Prioritize protein. Don't fear fat. Focus on fiber.
I love that. I think we need a t-shirt that says, don't fear the fat.
Yes, we do. We do. Yes. Don't fear fat.
Don't fear fat.
Or bring back fat. I don't know about that.
Okay.
That could mean different.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we do have to be careful what we're promoting here. So how important in this journey is exercise, right? Because everybody says you have to get exercise. Is that really essential?
Yes, it is. We're not made to sit for 10 hours a day. We're made to move. And it's just going to the gym. People think that you sit for 10 hours and go to the gym for a half an hour to an hour. That's sufficient. No, get up every 20 minutes or so, half an hour. If you're working at home in front of the computer, just get up and go walk and stretch, do a couple of air squats or something. Just move your body around. And especially if people who are using the injections on a weight loss journey, resistance exercise is very important, because muscle can consume 80% of your glucose, right? Bypassing insulin. You don't need insulin for the muscles to uptake the glucose from your bloodstream. So the more muscle you have, maybe you can eat a donut or two.
Oh my gosh, did you just recommend donut? You must still be, the family's still in the donut business, aren't they?
I don't. I'm gluten-free because I have autoimmune condition.
Yeah, but you know what? I laugh all the time. So the girls in my office, I'm going to throw them under the bus here. They like their occasional donut. And there is a place they will bring in gluten-free donuts. So, you still can.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes. Yes.
Still can do it, Amanda, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I just need them to make gluten-free and dairy-free donuts. I need both.
Yeah, I think there is a place in California, actually.
Oh, that's too far for me to go in the morning. I'm gonna stick to my fasting in the morning and not do the donuts, and not do the donuts. Okay, before we're going to take a quick break with our sponsors, Amanda, and come back and do some fun questions and let everybody know how they can get a hold of you. But before we take a break, what is your just favorite? Do you have one piece of just favorite advice to give people?
You can take back your health.
Love it. Powerful and simple. Powerful and simple. Let's just leave it at that. We're going to take another quick break from our sponsors who are really important to us. Sit tight, and we're going to have some fun with Dr. Amanda Yue. This is your weekly dose of Dr. Cindy, the Positively Altered podcast. Stop. Hit that follow button now and spread the love with Positively Altered. And we are back with Dr. Amanda Yue. I am so happy because diabetes and insulin resistance is rampant. And I thank you so much for sharing a couple pieces of information with everybody today. But now we're going to have some fun. You ready, Amanda?
Absolutely. I know. I'm afraid what you're going to ask me.
No. Don't be afraid. It's super fun. All right. First question. If you could change the color of snow to any color, what would you make it?
Green.
Why green?
I love green. It's my favorite colors. It's represent life, represent livelihood, just represent earth for me.
Perfect.
Trees.
Perfect. If you could only move by one form of transportation for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Only one?
Only one form of transportation.
Okay. I would pick just walking.
I love it. I love it. See, that's why I can't get stuff in California though, because if I go with you, it's going to take us a long time to get there. Long time to get
Hey,
there.
I walked from Cambodia to Thailand overnight.
You know what? I think you just shamed me into taking back my statement. Yeah, we can do anything we put our mind to do, can't we?
Yes, we can.
We absolutely can. All right, California, Amanda and I are on our way barefoot.
Yeah.
And actually,
Hey, we plan to live till 112, right?
yes,
So we
at
might
least.
get there then.
And I got to tell you, I think we should be barefoot actually. Maybe not walking through the jungles necessarily, but my shoes come off the minute I get home. I love to be barefoot and ground myself. So
Same.
there's something to that for sure.
I
Right?
encourage everybody to go outside and put their feet on the grass
I love
every
it.
day. And go get some free vitamin D too.
Right? I love it. All right. What is the number one question as a pharmacist you are always asked?
What can I take for constipation? I haven't gone in 2 weeks. I need about a half an hour to answer that question, which I don't have at the pharmacy.
Okay, that's episode number 4 with Dr. Amanda Yue. Look how she's building value here,
That's right.
She's going
Yeah.
to get invited back multiple times with all these teasers.
Yes.
What is I'll share with you my record. What is the record for the longest somebody has told you they have not had a bowel movement?
1 month. Just the other day, just last week, I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, that means like you have so much toxin in your body because if you don't defecate, if you don't move out those, the stool, it's going to get recycled in form of toxicity. I mean, yeah. It's just like my stomach is so hard and so full and it's big. It's like, yeah, you need you need emergency. You need to go to the hospital and get it evacuated.
Right? Yeah, the longest, the record in my office is 31 days without a bowel movement with no anatomical issues, no blockages, no lesions, no nothing. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yes.
People who think it's normal to not have to move bowels absolutely every single day.
People think this is normal. I mean, it's common, but it's not normal. It's
Correct.
like I have children who are constipated.
I know, it's very sad.
It's very
All right,
sad.
Amanda, because now we're going down the health route and I want to continue having a little fun here. You ready?
Oh.
If you could be a professional singer, dancer, or musician, which one would you pick?
I would pick singer.
Yes?
Yeah, I thought about that. It's like, it's like if I could be anything, I would like to be a singer. I cannot sing a tone. I am tone deaf. It's like my husband's like, please stop. Do not sing.
We could be the world's worst duet, Amanda.
Yes, I just think it's a great way to express your emotions, your feelings, and Chinese we're emotionally constipated.
Yeah.
FYI.
I love that. So if medicine at some point in time does not work out for the two of us, we will become famous TikTok stars as the worst singing duet on the planet. How about that?
Deal.
We'll see if we can get banned on TikTok for singing.
We probably will. It's like,
Very possible. Very possible. Amanda, what was your favorite thing about doing the podcast today?
I just love your energy. I love how relaxed this space is, and I love how this is not script. And I have like ADD, and I get off track often. So I love your format of this.
Well,
It's very relaxed. I
this
love it.
has been a blast, Amanda. How do people get a hold of you, find you, work with you, get discount codes, share all that information with our listeners?
Yes, absolutely. RestoreDigestion.com is my website. So all my tools are in there, from, exercise, from neurofascia technique. I'm also a melt instructor as well, and functional medicine, and also this amazing protocol that I've used to help my mother-in-law reverse type 2 diabetes. Do not go get it from Amazon, because you'll pay $50, $70 more. So there is a discount code. Is youfeelgreat.com is the company website, but my discount code is RESTORE. Just put in RESTORE in there as a referral code, and we'll link you to me, and I will be your coach.
I love that. And you know what? I love the fact that we just need to support each other as well. Not that Amazon doesn't have its good, good perks now and then, but I'm always a big fan of, when it comes to health, we should be working with great practitioners who can understand their individual needs. So really important. Everybody, please make sure you check out Amanda Yue. She's got great information. We are going to have you back, Amanda, because we're going to talk statins and who knows what else. And we'll go down
and poop.
And poop. Well, listen, I always love to talk about poop. So we will absolutely have you back. For everybody out there listening, I will tell you my favorite thing, besides, of course, just getting to know my guests a little bit better. I love, Amanda, truly, that you started out with what is probably a very complicated story and took the simplicity part of it to show everybody that we really can overcome adversity, right? Like at the end of the day, whether it's struggles because of living situations all the way through our health, take off your shoes, get grounded, get on the other side, and let's get healthy. I thank everybody for listening today. I truly hope, as I know I have been, you all are being left positively altered.